I had heard about this Caitlin Clark, and I was like watching videos of her just like having like 40 points, like averaging a million in high school. And I was like, oh, this girl thinks she's going to come here and rule the world, you know, like whatever. It's going to be, you know, whatever. And there she did, came in right away and ruled the world. And I was like, all right, here we go.
Martin's WNBA fairy tale began with sparkles, but nosedived into pure chaos. The former Iowa favorite, the same one who helped Caitlin Clark carry the Hawkeyes to back-to-back Final Fours, ended up trapped on the Las Vegas Aces bench, watching her dream stall before it could even breathe. Game after game, her minutes vanished. Her confidence crashed, and the so-called super team that was supposed to build her future seemed totally fine, letting her fade into the background. Then came the plot. Twist. One phone call from Caitlin Clark that flipped her whole story. In a tell-all chat, Kate revealed the moment she knew Vegas wasn't home, how that talk with Caitlin reignited her fire, and why joining the Golden State Valkyries wasn't just a transfer, it was a resurrection. If you're still in Kate's corner, prove it. Drop Golden State Kate in the comments and back the comeback.
I feel like your two Iowa teams left a mark on women's college basketball, but also women's basketball at large. Is that like kind of crazy to think about? Like you were a part of something that was a catalyst for this like larger growth.
Really get how this saga began? You've got to rewind all the way to Iowa. Before Caitlin Clark and Kate Martin turned Carver Hawkeye Arena into absolute mayhem, Iowa women's basketball wasn't even a blip on the national radar. Then those two stormed in and flipped the whole narrative. Suddenly, every home game looked like a primetime event. And it wasn't empty hype. It was pure dominance. Caitlin was the fireworks, the logo bombs, the viral headlines. Kate was the architect, the quiet mastermind making every gear turn. She wasn't a sidekick living in someone's shadow. She was the engine driving the entire system.
Remember, you have that summer before, and she was doing things that I had never seen anybody do before. And as a freshman, to come in and have that kind of confidence, like, not everybody has that. Like, I was like, oh, I haven't really seen anything like this. And so we knew she was going to be outstanding. And then, at the beginning of the year, we had some big wins, and there was highs and lows that year for sure. But, it took us a little bit to figure it out. But it obviously turned out better than I could have ever expected or thought.
24. Everyone remembers Caitlin Clark lighting up the court with 40-point explosions. But look a little closer. Kate Martin quietly averaged 13.1 points and nearly 7 rebounds. Those aren't sidekick stats. Those are alpha stats. Yet Kate knew her superpower wasn't stealing Caitlin's spotlight. It was amplifying it. She was the glue, the calm storm, the invisible force that kept the empire running.
Your two Iowa teams left a mark on women's college basketball, but also women's basketball at large. Is that like kind of crazy to think about? Like you were a part of something that was a catalyst for this like large.
Rewatch that iconic Final Four showdown against South Carolina, the game that shattered the undefeated Gamecocks. Kate Martin calls it the moment that defined her career, and honestly, it's obvious why. She was everywhere. Talking, boxing out, slicing lanes, setting screens, doing it all. She was the calm in chaos. When Caitlin Clark needed space, Kate carved it open. When teammates wobbled, she steadied them. That's leadership you don't teach. The silent power behind championship glory.
You had to pick like kind of like a favorite highlight, like getting to the Final Four. Is it beating South Carolina and breaking their streak? Is it, getting to the final game? Like what would have been the moment?
I would say beating South Carolina
fair.
Was like,
that was incredible.
That was like the best moment ever. Cause like we like all believed that we could make it to a Final Four. And so we were just like, all right, we made it to a Final Four. Like, let's go. This is great. We didn't think we were going to really make it to the national championship. Like the undefeated South Carolina, they're like Twin Towers down there, like just a very long, athletic, good team. And so when we like executed that game plan perfectly and beat them, that was probably that's like still probably my career.
But the secret sauce between Caitlin Clark and Kate Martin wasn't plain teamwork. It was full-blown basketball telepathy. These two didn't just play together. They read each other's minds. Kate always knew the perfect second to crash the glass after Caitlin's wild logo 3. And Caitlin? She found Kate in motion like radar lock. They weren't just teammates, they were a living, breathing system. Caitlin's swagger thrived because Kate cleared the chaos. And Kate's influence exploded because Caitlin believed.
I feel like looking back on it, and then even just talking to you now, it's like, yes, Caitlin is like a big focal point of the team.
Yeah.
She's going to have to do a lot of the scoring, all the things. And it's almost like good cop, bad cop or something.
Yeah.
Now, I don't mean it in like
yeah.
literal terms, but she just had to like be herself, and that was going to win you games. But then you had to come in and kind of be like a calming effect. And that, so I'm actually really curious, as these teams start to take shape in 2023 and then 2024, like what was your leadership style in conjunction with a player like Caitlin, but also the rest of your...
And don't get it twisted, Kate Martin was the one doing all the dirty work no one ever applauded. She set those brutal screens that gave Caitlin Clark the room for her impossible shots. When Caitlin gambled on defense, Kate rotated perfectly, cleaning everything up like clockwork.
I was definitely more of like the calmer presence and being like, hey, like look me in the eyes, you know, deep breath, like it's all going to be okay. And I think like the leadership style that I really had was just like trust. Like she trusted me because she had seen me like putting in the work in the gym. She knew how much I cared. Like I was only 2 years older than her, but like she believed that like I had her best interest in mind, and like I showed her that over and over again. Like I built a relationship with her outside of basketball. I tried to build relationships with all my teammates outside of basketball, so it wasn't like the only time I'm talking to you is out on the court and telling you like, hey, like you can't do that, or like, hey, like do the, you know, whatever. Is like,
it's called relationship equity.
Exactly.
The reason the Hawkeyes terrified every opponent wasn't just their superstar power, it was because that superstar had the perfect partner standing right beside her.
Like if we needed to get across to Caitlin, you know, like it was like Kate, like that was like my job at times. And then like her junior and sophomore year, like she had done so much like work on herself and like how to be like a great teammate and all of us together, that like I didn't need to like, I don't know, like do all of that. Manage that as much as like I had in the past. But I felt grateful that, you know, she trusted me enough and like I trusted her enough too, to where like it was a working relationship. And so then, I just kind of did that with all of my teammates. And I felt grateful that like I was the person who could speak up.
But the WNBA is a whole different jungle. Kate Martin assumed that Iowa magic, that mix of chemistry, grit, and basketball IQ, would glide smoothly into the pros. Instead, she slammed into a brick wall in Las Vegas. The Aces drafted her, sure, but what followed felt like a slow-motion demotion. While Aja Wilson and the Aces' veteran royalty hoarded every precious minute, Kate could only sit there watching her dream dissolve in real time. Her minutes told the ugly truth. In May, she clocked around 20 per game. Not bad for a rookie. By September, just 11.5. Her stats sank to 2.6 points and 1.6 rebounds. But those numbers don't scream lack of talent. They scream lack of opportunity. The same player who once crashed boards and hit clutch shots in college was suddenly being told to hold a towel, stay ready, and wait for... what exactly?
Like you really do, but like it's just hard, as you know. Like there's only 12 spots.
The playoffs finally hit. Things didn't just stay bad. They got brutal. 6 playoff games, 3 total minutes. 3! That's not player development. That's a billboard-sized message. And the message couldn't be clearer.
Curious. So now that you are into your second year, like what do you think, what makes the WNBA so difficult to play in?
Man, I mean, I just think the physicality, speed, smart players, like really smart players, and people who have been around for so long, honestly. I mean, I'm just thinking back to like New York. They're massive. They are, you know, like, they're very, very, very good. Like a lot of these people have been playing professional basketball for...
A legend who's witnessed every era of the game once warned how vicious that transition can be. The WNBA's speed, muscle, and mental grind humble even the brightest college icons. Her words hit like prophecy for Kate Martin, because this wasn't a simple learning curve. This was a straight-up dead end.
Scoring is not easy. Like, people who average, like, however many points, like, it's honestly so impressive. Like,
Yeah.
I've never been more impressed by basketball than like now. Like, basketball is a simple game, but that doesn't mean it's easy. It's
Right.
an easy game. But yeah, like people work really hard. They are long, they're big, they're fast, they're physical. So me just like having to learn how to be patient, play off of 2 feet, play in control. That is something, you know, I'm still working on, because sometimes you're like trying to do the right thing always and like make the right read, but then you forget like, hey, just go.
His system made sure of it. Veterans like Aja Wilson and Chelsea Gray ruled the rotation, and coach Becky Hammon wasn't about to shake up her royal order. Rookies weren't developed, they were placeholders. Kate Martin wasn't battling peers for minutes. She was trying to crack a dynasty with 0 vacancy. This wasn't about talent, it was about timing, and that's what burned the most. Every game she sat through felt like watching her career dissolve in real time. Every practice running the scout team felt like punishment for daring to believe she belonged. The confidence she built at Iowa was being stripped away, not by failure or effort, but by politics wrapped in the glitter of a championship
It's because it's really, really hard to come off the bench in what is a version of limited minutes compared to starters. It's not always that case, but you get my point. In a limited amount of time and be really impactful.
Yeah.
That is one of, I think, the hardest things. And anytime I've been around a teammate who's been able to do that, at times it's more impressive than the star player who just has that ultra green light. And you've kind of already brought up the balance.
And here's the cruel truth she learned the hard way. The WNBA doesn't just test talent. It tests timing. It doesn't matter how gifted you are if you're trapped in the wrong system under the wrong coach. Even brilliance can't bloom when it's buried. And in Las Vegas, under Aja Wilson's massive shadow and the Aces' top-heavy hierarchy, Kate Martin wasn't being developed. She was being ignored. Then came one phone call that flipped everything. A single conversation that pulled her career back from the edge. At her lowest point, sitting on the Aces bench, wondering if she even belonged in the league, Kate turned to the one person who always saw her clearly. She called Caitlin Clark, the teammate who had always known how to light her fire again.
How did you feel about the whole expansion draft situation?
I was really excited.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you weren't protected, were you like kind of expecting that? And then it was like, whatever happens, happens?
Yeah, I was kind of expecting that. I mean, you just looked at the roster and you're like, there's just like too many good players. It's a business. Like, you know, like it is what it is.
This wasn't just some friendly catch-up call. It was a lifeline she didn't realize she desperately needed. Caitlin Clark was battling her own uphill war in Indiana. The bruising physicality, the insane pace, the non-stop pressure of being the face of an entire league. But when Kate Martin confessed how she was being buried alive in Vegas, Caitlin instantly saw the real problem. It wasn't Kate's game that was broken. It was her environment. And Caitlin, never one to sugarcoat, told her what nobody else dared to say. You're not failing? Kate, they're failing you.
Up until then, I didn't know if I had been protected or not.
Okay.
And so...
Oh, yeah, that's right. They don't actually tell you.
They told some people, but they didn't.
Yeah.
I was not
No,
involved.
it's actually smart they don't tell.
Yeah.
Because that would just be...
Yeah.
That'd be messed up.
Yeah. And so when I got told I was going to get picked up, I was just super excited for another opportunity. Like, some people don't get opportunities to go to a training camp or like, you know, get the opportunity to make a team. And so the fact that I knew I was going to get another shot, I was excited and felt really grateful for it. So yeah, I was really happy.
That one line hit straight to the core. Caitlin Clark reminded Kate Martin of what they built back at Iowa. A bond fueled by trust, chemistry, and a deep understanding of each other's strengths. She told Kate that real success isn't about grinding yourself to dust in the wrong place. It's about finding the space that actually values your worth. That single phone call flipped everything. Leaving Vegas wasn't surrender, it was self-respect. Sue Bird once said every player needs the right system, not just a jersey, but a home that amplifies what they bring. And that was Kate's light bulb moment. When the Golden State Valkyries grabbed her in the expansion draft, it wasn't some casual roster update. It was a clean slate, a restart. Vegas saw her as replaceable. Golden State saw her as essential. The kind of foundation you build a culture on.
The Bay, it's
Yeah.
a new franchise. Season tickets were sold out immediately. I've heard home games are insane.
They are.
The owners have come out. They said a chip within the first 5 years. So the expectations are high. But like you said, it was an opportunity to make a team, and you did. So what has that excitement of a new franchise?
Golden State Valkyries knew precisely what they were signing up for. A leader, a voice, and a culture setter who could shift a locker room before even lacing up. I'm really excited, Kate Martin said in her first interview. This league is all about opportunity, and you just need one shot. That single line said it all. Caitlin Clark gave her the courage to gamble on herself, and Golden State handed her the table to roll the dice. That phone call didn't just save her career, it reignited her purpose. But make no mistake, this move isn't just a jersey swap. It's a total rebirth, the kind of reset players dream of. Expansion teams are those rare blank slates where legacies can be drawn from scratch, and that's exactly what Kate craved. A fresh canvas where she could rebuild, redefine, and finally write her own story on her own terms.
It's been
Like, it's got to
awesome.
be insane.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Like, the fans really are so loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has been awesome in Chase Center. And they've been sticking with it the whole game. Like, when we were losing to LA the first game, they stayed the entire time and they cheered us on from the first minute to the last minute. And so that means a lot as a team.
Yeah.
Like, seeing your fans stay, like, and cheer for you. They were invested. It was just really cool. And like, you see people in the Bay Area just wearing Valkyries gear all the time.
Like Las Vegas, Golden State isn't powered by egos or hierarchy. The Aces were a star-stacked empire where minutes were guarded like treasure, ruled by Aja Wilson, whose dominance left little oxygen for anyone else to shine. But the Valkyries? They're crafting something different, a culture built on collaboration. Their GM, Ohan, made her vision crystal clear. She wanted tone setters, not divas. Smart, unselfish, high IQ players who prized chemistry over clout, and Kate Martin was her prototype. Head coach Natalie Nass, who'd already witnessed Kate's relentless work ethic back in Vegas, instantly shifted her philosophy. In Golden State, it's about effort and intention, not perfection. Mistakes aren't crimes, complacency is. She preaches communication, energy, and accountability, the exact traits Kate embodies without even trying. The message couldn't be louder in this new system. Your hustle, your presence, and your energy actually